Cool. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. I think we are right on time to start this webinar. Just before we start, can you confirm you can hear me? Okay, cool. I think, yep. Just confirming before we quickly start. Yep, I think we can. I'm audible. Everybody can hear me. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. Now, the reason why we set this webinar is because obviously a lot of you have been asking us to help you understand what are AI voice calls and how does that solve some of the problems that recruiters face when they're hiring. Before we start, a quick introduction about me. My name is Gokul. I'm the founder of Recroot. We are a talent acquisition platform. What we do, we automate talent acquisition or hiring right from resume screening till candidate shortlisting, which means you candidates upload their resume, you post the job, candidate uploads the resume, it gets screened, an automatic AI based voice call is made to the candidate, which speaks in natural voice, which you will see now. And then those who are good move on to do an AI interview, and then those who clear the AI interview, we then the platform automatically forwards them to the talent acquisition managers for them to take it forward. So that is who we are. And for this particular, for the next 30 minutes, we're only going to concentrate on the voice calls, the manual screening, right? So how do recruiters do manual screening or phone screening now? Why do they do it? And how can AI replace that or complement that? So what is the standard hiring workflow? The standard hiring workflow at the moment, let's quickly see it before we move on, is you post a job, candidates apply to the job with their resume, the resume gets screened. Most of the times it is a keyword search. And then those resumes which are good, the recruiters would pick up the phone and call the candidates and do a basic screening. Now, this screening could be like 5-6 minutes, basic understanding of the candidate, basically what salary expectations, technical competencies, check with the resume, whatever is written in the resume is true or not. And for those candidates who clear, they move on to do an initial interview. This generally is done by a hiring manager or somebody in hiring manager's team or HR themselves. And then the hiring manager takes the final interview or a few rounds of interviews before candidate gets selected. Now, in the standard hiring workflow, we are only going to look at phone screening and what happens if an AI can do the calling, what is the current practice, and how can AI complement that practice. So there are several problems that recruiters face, and for this context of this webinar, let's look at a few of them. Right now, for every job post, there are hundreds of applications. Now, we did some analysis, and we also looked at the internet. On an average, it is about around 200 to 250 applications per job post. So recruiters will have to look at all the 250, or they look at the top 20, 30 that the ATS or their software throws it to them. Now, every resume is screened, and then they pick up the phone, call the candidate, and do the screening. Then they take notes, and then they upload the notes to a software, or they save it, and then forward it to the hiring manager for further processing. Now that takes about 20 minutes, right? Each candidate, it is a matter of 20 minutes. So those candidates who are rejected, you've got to send the rejection email and so forth. So imagine you're calling the candidates, you're calling 30 candidates for a job role or 40 candidates, 20 minutes for each candidate. That's a lot of effort. Now, uh, from our analysis, right, and we also searched the internet, manual screening can consume about 50 hours of recruiter time, right? For that is per job role. For every job role, recruiters would be spending 70-80% of the time only screening and being on the phone. Now, if you put together all the hours that every recruiter would spend in a year, that comes to around 1,300 hours in a year. That's a lot of hours. Now, these are repetitive tasks that can be automated because a recruiter has a lot of other high priority tasks they need to do. For those candidates who are the best, you need to talk to them, get them through the recruitment journey, make sure that the best candidates join their company, not join their competitors. Make sure that the salary expectations are managed, the other expectations are managed. Those are high priority roles, tasks that the recruiter should handle, and some of these repetitive tasks should be automated. So what happens if because of this, right? A lot of recruiters tell us that there is recruiter burnout because they're always on the phone trying to do these manual screening, and then there is a lot of times that there are 2-3 recruiters try to call the candidates, and each recruiter tries to evaluate it in a different way. Now some recruiters might be really good at talking to sales candidates, some might be really good at talking to tech candidates. Now that could be their sweet spot, but then when it comes to other roles, then there is a lot of gap. Then there are about 70% of screened candidates, when you go on to meet the hiring manager, they fail the hiring manager interviews. Sometimes the initial interviews or the hiring manager interviews, which becomes a bigger problem because you got to start the process again, right? You start talking to the candidate, you phone screen them, you call them for a virtual interview, and the first round could be with the hiring manager or the hiring manager's team, and they fail there. Then you got to restart the process. You got to call the candidates, screen the candidates, look for more resumes, and so forth. Now, this could become a bottleneck. Why? Because an average hiring takes around 40 to 44 days. You select the top 4 candidates, you give it to the recruiter, you give it to the hiring manager. The hiring manager looks at these resumes, does the initial interview. He fails it. Again, you come back and the process starts again. So these are some of the problems that we listed, and these are problems that could be automated. Now we are going to talk about what are the challenges in automating. If AI voice calls could automate them, what are the challenges to look for? What are the common myths that needs to be broken, and so forth. So let's move on. The current landscape of AI in recruitment it's around $1 billion. AI in recruitment is $1 billion market, and it's expected to increase manyfold in the coming months. So, which means a lot of the organizations are open to incorporating AI into their workflow, or are already doing it in some way. And then 65% of recruiters are already using or planning to use AI powered tools. Right? This is the big hot thing. If used carefully, then would really benefit a lot of people. So let's go to the solution. Right now, we have looked at the problems so far. We see that there is a problem. We all agree that it's a problem. This problem is well known. Now, how do we solve it? Right now, we can solve it by AI calling the candidates. Now, there are some problems, right? Uh, uh, the AI can talk in natural human voice. The AI can do parallel. It can talk to multiple candidates at the same time. There are a lot of advantages the AI will be able to achieve just by calling the candidates. Now, the next thing that we all will be thinking, how would the candidates take it? Would the candidates like it? But that's a myth that we will talk about, and we'll talk about some practical examples as well. But imagine you upload the resume, and then the AI calls the candidate, talks to them in natural human voice, tells them that they are an AI bot, and we are calling from this organization, and we are going to do an initial 5-minute screening, and they can ask any questions, and if the AI is not able to answer, it will forward it to the appropriate person for them to answer. Right. So that's a beautiful process. Would really solve a lot of problems. Now, the second thing that it can do, it can ask specific questions from a resume. Right? It looks at the resume. Obviously, we need to first figure out if everything in the resume is genuine or not. So, by asking specific questions from resume during the screening call, it can also identify or it can also do some technical screening and identify the best matched candidates for the role. Now, the advantage of AI doing it is because it can adapt to any role, be a sales role or a marketing role or a role involving technology coding. It can say, okay, you have worked in this organization before. You in your resume you have said that you have done this project. Can you elaborate what is that project? What was your role in the project? How did you go about doing it? And then it can use the same yardstick to compare all the other candidates who have applied for the job role. At the end of it can generate summaries, it can generate a detailed report, and also provide whether they are fit for purpose for the role or not. It can also record the calls so that you can hear it at a later point in time. So this is something that is achievable through AI. This is, and if done correctly, then would expedite the recruitment process by a lot extent. So here is a sample AI voice call that I'm going to play now. Now this is from our software. This is a sample voice. It's an internal role. We do a lot, but this will give you an idea of how AI voice call happens. How is it talking? How are the candidates able to understand this, and so forth. So rather than talking, by presenting this, I think this will add a lot of value. So I'll just start playing.
Hi, this is Suji from Recroot. Are you Prayanshu?
Yeah, I am.
I hope you can hear.
I'm calling from Recroot. You have applied for the software engineer role. I'm just giving you a quick call about that. Is now a good time to chat?
Yeah.
Great, thanks. I have a few quick questions to get to know you better. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah. You can ask.
Thank you. Are you proficient in Python, Java, JavaScript, Node.js, or TypeScript, or CSS?
Yeah, I'm proficient in JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Node.js, this all languages.
That's great to hear. Have you worked with SQL, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and NoSQL, MongoDB, Redis databases?
Yeah, so I have experience with SQL, MySQL, and even for MongoDB.
Excellent. Have you used React.js, Angular, Spring Boot, Netcore, or Django frameworks in your past projects?
Yeah, I use Django.
Thank you for sharing.
Cool. So that was a sample call, which was a quick call. Now that is how an AI voice call would go. The script can be changed apparently based on every requirement. In this case, because it was a sample call, we tailored the script to our requirements. But generally, the script would say, ideally for ethical reasons, the script would say that it is an AI voice bot calling from this organization for this reason, and apparently this is going to ask questions from the resume, and it would not ask for any other information, any personal information other than what is needed for the job, right? So that would give the candidates confidence that it is from a genuine source, and that the organization cares about the candidate and their privacy. So let's move on. There are some common questions. Obviously, when you heard these voice calls, I'm pretty sure you might have some common questions in your mind, right? The first question is, what will happen if the candidate does not pick up the call, or he says, "I'm busy, call me after some time," or the AI is not able to reach the candidate's phone number. Now, the technology is advanced that the AI can call the candidate after some time, like 4 hours, 5 hours, or if the candidate says, "Call me at 8 o'clock in the night," or "Call me at 10 o'clock in the morning," the AI can initiate a call at 10 o'clock at the right time. Now, can it engage in conversation with candidates? Yes, it can. And if, let's say, if the candidate asks, "Okay, what is this role about? Can you talk to me about the role?" Or, "What is this company? Can you give me more information about what this company does?" Or, "Can you give me more information about the hiring, the recruitment journey? How many rounds are there? Or what's the salary?" If that information is provided, the AI will be able to answer to the candidates in a very appropriate manner. Let's say, and the candidate says, "Do you have what are the perks that the company offers?" And the AI does not know that information because it has not been fed that information. Then the AI can suitably answer saying, "There is a hiring. I mean, I will forward this to the hiring manager. The hiring manager or the HR will address this when you get to meet them." Right. So every anything that the information, when it can answer questions based on the information fed to it. Now, can employers configure questions? Yes, of course. The employers can also configure questions, or the AI can automatically figure out the questions themselves. So that these are some of the common questions that we hear when we talk about AI voice calls. So it is very customizable. It talks in natural English. It can talk in Hindi. It can talk in any region language suitable to that particular role, and it can do technical screening. It can engage in a conversation, and it can ask the questions you want to ask, or it can also ask its own questions from the resume. I will stop here. Are there any questions before we move forward? Cool. There is a question around how can it call multiple people at the same time? Yes, it can. So the AI voice call can do parallel calling. It can call multiple candidates at the same time, which makes it much more easier, right? You're trying to call 100 people. You are going to manual calling would probably take 2-3 days. In this case, the AI can do it in 10 minutes. In the first attempt, it would have reached up to 50% of the people. The second attempt, after a few hours, it would reach another 30-40%. So within a day, all 100 people would have been spoken to, right? And it probably will not take more than an hour to reach out to all the people and talk to them, right? So yes, it can do parallel calls. Okay, let's move on. So these are some of the myths of these are some of the myths of AI screening calls. The first myth is, obviously you will know that what happens if a candidate dislikes these calls. Candidates say, I would like to talk to a human. Now there are some circumstances like that, and the AI is suitable to handle those things as part of the script as well, because the script will say, I am an AI bot. Are you interested to talk to me? We are just going to do a screening call. And if the candidate says no, I need to talk to somebody, it's a human, automatically the calls will be routed to a recruiter, or appropriately a message will be sent to the recruiter. But that has not happened so far. We see that these AI voice calls have been very successful in all our campaigns and all our current clients who use it. The success rate has been between 85% to 90%, or 90, in some cases 93%. That means if the calls are initiated to 100 people, by the end of 24 hours, after 3 attempts, to 93%, 90 or 85 to 93% of the people have been reached. So, and they've spoken to, and the report has been generated. So, and we see that candidates are much more comfortable talking to AI. What they like is the faster response time. Right? You apply for a job, the resume gets screened automatically. The call is made within the next 5 minutes. That speed is a big advantage. So the candidate would have just applied for a job. He's still sitting in front of the computer. He still remembers what he applied, and then the resume gets screened, and immediately within 5 minutes, a call is made to the candidate. That makes the entire process smooth, and candidates love that. So that is the advantage of using technology for some of these repetitive tasks. Myth 2, AI will completely replace human recruiters. This is another myth that we would like to say. Now, by doing AI voice calls, can recruiters take their hands off what they have been doing, and will it completely be able to replace human recruiters? No. Now, let's be very clear. This is a repetitive tasks that the AI is trying to handle. Now, obviously, there will be certain circumstances where the AI might have rejected a candidate, or AI might have selected a candidate. Now, but when the recruiters look at it, they might have a different view. So it is a process of training the AI. So obviously, human monitoring is very, very important. It is mandatory, right? And human recruiters are very, very crucial, because without that, this is going to be a complete failure. And then sometimes AI might there are biases. AI might hallucinate. There might be a bias that it might be involved in because of the data that we train. Because the type of data that the data that we train, we take best efforts to make sure that it is there are no biases that occur. But then, being humans, we might miss some of the angles that the AI might pick up, and if that AI picks it up and then there is a bias, then that needs to be addressed. So the myth that human recruiters will no longer be needed or they can take their hands off, that is completely wrong. The human recruiters will still need to monitor it, except the only thing is there is a lot of time that they can spend on more productive tasks like talking to the candidates who are in the advanced stages of hiring, and taking them through the journey, being more personal relationship with them. So that will be a lot of value, rather than calling every candidate and screening them. But their monitoring is mandatorily required. Now, AI guarantees 100% unbiased hiring. As I mentioned, it cannot guarantee 100% unbiased hiring. Right? That is not going to happen. There is going to be biases that will be injected, be it any type of training data. But again, that requires us to completely keep monitoring these biases and making sure that everything is taken care of. Some of the common biases include gender bias, racial bias, educational background, and so forth. Right? Education background discrimination is something that we recently found. Obviously, we did this was a live case where for a role, the AI preferred a person from a more reputed university than not from a reputed university, even though the role did not require that kind of a discrimination, or the role did not require that kind of a segregation. So there are biases that will occur that needs to be looked into all the time. So, what are some ethical considerations? Right? What are some ethical considerations that needs when we implement AI, any AI? What are some ethical considerations that needs to be looked into? Now, this is very important because obviously we are going to be talking to the candidate. The candidate journey should be positive. The candidate should have a good feel of the organization. So there are some ethical considerations that needs to be looked into. First is and this is our view, but different people have different views about it. Our view is that if we are using AI, if it's an AI call, it's a bot calling. I think that we need to communicate with the candidate. What we do in our case is before the call is made, a message or a WhatsApp message is sent to the candidate telling them that they will be receiving a call within the next 5-10 minutes. This will be from a bot, and we will be and the bot will be asking some screening questions, and the call will be around 4 to 5 minutes. So I clearly at the start, informing the candidate that of the use of AI would add a lot of trust for the candidate by being transparent. The next important thing is clear information on candidates' privacy and where the data will be shared, because privacy is very important, and how the candidates right to know how this data will be shared, because the voice calling will be recorded, it will be stored, who all will see it, where will it be shared. So that information is very important. In our case, what we do is we have a privacy as per GDPR. We have a privacy declaration that we send out. It's on our website. So it is very important. If the candidate asks any question around privacy, we are able to answer. The AI is able to answer as well. So we have trained AI to answer those questions. So, for example, if the candidate asks, what is the data privacy? Do you have data privacy concerns? Who will all the data be shared? The AI should be able to specifically answer regarding questions around data privacy. And the most important is security of candidate data, right? Privacy and security are related, but what happens if the my call is downloaded and it is uploaded to YouTube, or somebody else uses my voice to do something else, right? So I think we need to let candidates know about the security measures of how we protect this data, how long will we keep it, what are the security mechanisms we are put in place. All of this is very important. These are some very critical ethical considerations. We have come to the end of this webinar. It was a quick one that we wanted to address. As we mentioned, AI, this particular AI calling will not replace humans. It's going to help them reduce their repetitive tasks. If you'd like to see it as a demo, please go to this link, recroot.io/calling demo. You can initiate you can add your name, and then you can add a role for which you want a call to be made to you. So the AI will call you, and then you can act as a candidate, and you can it's basically none of this data is stored, so you can talk to the AI, and you can get a feel of how all of this works, right? And then before we move on, as I mentioned, we are Recroot.io. We do end-to-end automation. If you'd like to talk to us for a detailed demo, please reach out to us, or you can log in. We have a free trial. Start trying out the platform. So we've come to the end of this webinar. Do you have any questions? Okay, there is a question around where is the data stored? The data is stored depending upon the country. For India, the data is stored in India. One of the security consideration is we don't allow the call recording, or video recording to be downloaded. It is there on the platform. For anybody, for the authorized people to view it, but it cannot be downloaded. So that kind of security mechanisms we have put in place. And from a privacy standpoint, the data cannot be shared. The data can only be shared with authorized people within the platform. Cool. There is a question around pricing, but yeah, I mean it's a discussion that we can have separately. Please reach out to us, or after this webinar, we will send you the pricing on our platform. How is this market, right? Now this market is growing. We are one of the few providers who provide this service. There are a few others who provide similar service. If you go to the internet and search, you will find the providers of such service, and then you can choose who offers better value to you. What happens if a candidate doesn't understand the question? Good one. Yeah, it will repeat. When you try it, you will understand that. Sorry, I don't understand it. The AI will repeat that question again. It will first. I need to try to rephrase the question in a different way and repeat the question again. Cool. That's pretty much it. We have come to the end of this webinar. Thank you so much for being with us. Please reach out for any queries. If you need any help on AI or the technology, please reach out. We are more than happy to help. And thank you so much. Thank you.